On Apple here, you can see that it has been in a nice uptrend for a long period of time. And last time we drew in this little retracement coming down into this zone, being a nice little continuation zone to the upside. Well, we did get a bounce from it, and it did gap up for the next couple days after bouncing off of that level. Looking at the Aussie yen here on the daily time frame, from a few weeks ago, we put the comment down here saying I'm looking for price to bounce off the daily demand zone and tell me that this is a bottom. Well, lo and behold, it did tell me that it was a bottom, and you can see that we've had about a $4 move since that daily demand zone. And since that time, we've also seen this supply zone reform itself into a nice little demand zone over here. So we've seen the flip-flop of support and resistance. I'm looking for price to come back into this area again. So I would really like to see price maybe make it all the way up to about 90 here, and then for price to come right back down into this daily demand zone right around, we'll say 89-ish. Okay, uh, maybe do a nice little dollar move there, if you will, and then continue in its uptrend movement here. So that's really what I'm looking for. And as we move down into the hourly time frame, let's go ahead and do that. I'm just going to identify a couple of the demand zones that prices, excuse me, some of the support zones that sit inside of this big daily demand zone. So we have a nice little support zone there and a zone there. Now this zone has already been bounced off of one time, so it could possibly hold one more time right around, and plus it also puts it right around the $90 amount, or excuse me, the $89 amount. So we could see a nice little bounce here maybe on the bottom part of this zone, and then price to return up to $90. So that's really what I'm looking to have happen over the course of this next week. Over here on the dollar yen, you can see that prices moves all the way up here into daily supply. And as we are looking at daily supply, we can see that there is a lot of room to the downside. We took out the old daily demand zone that was there. We put in a new low down there at 107. And we have a lot of room to move back to the downside on this one. So we are sitting in this nice supply zone. Now, the only thing to really mention in all of this is the fact that this supply zone has been hit several times, like a whole bunch of times. So this supply zone is weak, and since we're seeing price retest the upper echelons of this supply zone, realize that this is the last hurrah that could be happening here to the downside. Now, it could be a new uptrend forming maybe in the next few weeks to months going on from here. But for right now, we're still in the downtrend, and I would be I'd be looking for a nice little move back down here, especially to the 110 area. I know that's only about $1 to the downside, but be looking for a move to the downside there. Also be mindful of these pivots that have broken here. Like we've seen this pivot break, I remember talking about this one actually. So we've seen a couple different pivots break here. We've seen that one break. I'm just putting them in real quickly. And we've also seen this one break as well. So a couple pivots have broken, which gives us inclination that something to the upside could be happening. However, right now, we're still inside of this big daily supply zone all the way up to the 112.16 area. So for me, it's a little too soon to jump onto the north side, and we're also way, way up high right now. So let price come back down low. Let price come into at least this new little zone that's been formed right around in here. Let's go ahead and draw that into place. So we have a nice little new demand zone being formed in here. At least let it drop into here before you decide to buy this in a new uptrend type of momentum if you think that this is forming a new uptrend here, but right now it could be a nice area to short from, so we will go ahead and wait and see on that one. On the 60-minute time frame, you can see that we can come in here and really look at some good support zones coming into play inside of this big daily level. So we have about 4 zones that price could bounce off of. If it does come to the downside here, those are the 4 levels that I am looking at price doing something kind of interesting there at. So just be mindful of those support zones in there. And again, this big daily zone starts at about 110.80 going down to about 109.56. So it is a big level, and there are a couple fresh demand zones, fresh support zones waiting there for it.